Hi everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our Excel shortcuts series. In the previous video, we looked at navigation shortcuts to help you navigate Excel more efficiently. Today, we'll be looking at selection shortcuts, which involve selecting cells, columns, and rows in Excel. To start, I encourage you to open the Excel file we'll be using, which is linked in the description below. Once you've done that, do your best to follow along with me so you get accustomed to using the shortcuts. If anything is unclear, then please comment down below. Throughout the video, I'll be referring to Windows shortcuts as I have a Windows device. I will, however, display the equivalent Mac shortcuts as well. When you open the file, you'll see this data set here, which contains the fictitious details of a bunch of staff members at an imaginary company. It consists of 8 columns and almost 1,000 rows. So let's look at the main ways in which we can select cells. Firstly, to select many individual cells at the same time, use the Control key and the mouse. For example, if we want to select cell B3, C10 and D20 at the same time, then select cell B3 and while holding down the Control key, select the other cells. This shortcut is useful if, for example, you want to apply the same format to all these cells. Instead of selecting one cell, applying the format, selecting the next cell, applying the format, and so on, which would be very time consuming. Next, to select a column, click the Control key and then space. And to select the entire row within our data sets, click Shift and then space. If you'd like to go past the data set and select the whole of row 3, then click space one more time while holding down the Shift key. Now let's say that you want to select columns B and C quickly at the same time. To do this, click Control and then space. Now let go of Control and space and click Shift and the right arrow. If you want to select column D as well, then while holding down the Shift key, click the right arrow again. And finally, if you want to select all columns within our data set, click Control, Shift and the right arrow. The same principle applies to rows as well. Let's say we want to select rows 3 and 4. To do this, click Shift and space, and then to select the row below, hold down the Shift key and press the down arrow. To select all rows in the dataset, click Control Shift and the down arrow. Sometimes you may also want to select the entire worksheet, although I must say that I use this shortcut rarely. To do this, click on cell A1 and click Control A, which is of course much easier than manually selecting all cells in the worksheet. So those are some of the most useful shortcuts to select data in Excel. In the next video, I'll cover grid operation shortcuts, which refer to inserting or deleting cells and filling columns and rows, which builds on the selection shortcuts covered today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful, and subscribe to the Excel Hub for weekly Excel tutorials, techniques, and examples.